Hello everyone, this is Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, bringing you a race today from Thompson Motorsports Park in Thompson, Connecticut. Today we'll be with the Advanced Legends Cup, and we'll be watching 14 of the very best Legends car drivers working on the iRacing circuit at this point in time. Let's walk through the starting grid. In car number 13, starting in the 14th spot, that's Dan Farley from Canada. Starting in the 13th spot in car number 10, racing out of the New England region, it's Corey Saucier. In the 12th spot, in car number 8, coming to us from Hamilton, New Jersey, that's Mark Bartlett. Starting 11th, in car number 7, the 34 Ford Woody, from the Iberian Peninsula, that's Diego Costa. In the 10th starting spot, in car number 11, racing the Hooters Legends car, he's out of Herculaneum, Missouri, it's Brad Almond. In the 9th starting spot, in car number 14, the Potleaf Emblazoned Legends car of Brandon Ditto from Ohio. In the 8th starting spot, in car 6, racing out of Canada, it's Howard Bentley. In the 7th starting spot, in car number 33, he's going to show up on your telemetry as car number 5, sponsored by Power Crunch and the McConey Setup Shop. It's Steve Mullins from Middletown, Virginia. In the 6th starting spot, in car number 9, the Born to Race Legends car of Matthew Moniak from Joliet, Illinois. In the 5th starting spot, in car number 12, racing out of Goochland, Virginia, sponsored by the University of Virginia, that's Kevin Fulton. In the 4th starting spot, in car number 4, he's sponsored by Black Roast Coffee Rum, racing out of the United Kingdom and Ireland, that's Lee Walker. Starting 3rd in the Puma 00, he'll show up on your telemetry as car number 3. That's Aaron Johnson, racing out of Bailey, Colorado. Starting in the 2nd spot, in car number 2, the Monster Energy Legends car of Brantley Wise, Brantley out of South Carolina. And on the pole, in car 1, that's Derrickson Palowski. Derek, sponsored by Molt Gear. He's races out of Michigan. I backed that up just a little bit so we can see the start. Derrickson Palowski leads them out of turn number 4. He's on the throttle quick. Palowski jumps up to a very quick early lead, leads them onto the front straightaway, and has already pulled the second place car, Brantley Wise, by about 4 car lengths as they head into turn number 1. Palowski in the Molt Gear Legends car through turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Derrickson Palowski with a very good race car leads the field down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Palowski stretching that lead out over the 2 of Brantley Wise. Johnson in the 00 in 3rd. A little battle between Lee Walker and Kevin Fulton for 4th and 5th, but Johnson, Wise, and Palowski, Wise, and Johnson pulling away from the rest of the field. Down the back straightaway, Derrickson Palowski continues to lead. He stretches the lead out to about 6 car lengths over the 2 of Brantley Wise. Johnson closing on Wise. Looks like he's trying to put a little pressure on Wise and maybe make a run at that second position. Johnson, though, about 3 car lengths behind the 2 of Brantley Wise. Out front, it's all Derek Palowski. Palowski with a big lead through turn number 2 out onto the back straightaway. Palowski extending that lead over the 2 of Brantley Wise. Johnson closing on Wise. Let's see if there's some action between Johnson and Wise. Johnson closes in on Wise through turn 3, runs right up on Wise's back bumper coming out of turn number 4. Johnson takes a look to the inside. He's inside Brantley Wise as they go down the front straightaway. Johnson completes the pass going into turn number 1. Aaron Johnson in the 00 now sets his sights on the 1 of Derrickson Palowski. Johnson gets a little loose coming down the back straightaway. That's going to allow Palowski to stretch the lead out just a little bit. It's Palowski 1, Johnson 2, Wise 3, Walker 4. Matthew Moniak has moved up into the top 5. Behind Moniak, it's the 5 or 33 of Mullins, then the 6 of Bentley, the 14 of Ditto, the 11 of Almond, and the 8 of Mark Bartlett. But out front, it's Derek Palowski here on lap number 5 with a big lead over the 00 of Johnson. Palowski, Johnson, and then the 2 of Brantley Wise now falling back as Johnson and Palowski extend the lead over the rest of the field. Johnson closing slightly on the 1 of Palowski as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Palowski in the black and red number 1 car sets a blistering pace at Thompson Motorsports Park. Johnson, though, closing in. He's closed down to about a 4 car length lead as he creeps up on the 1 of Derek Palowski. Johnson sets his sights on the 1 car into turn number 1 through the center of 1 and 2 out onto the back straightaway. Johnson closing. He's about 4 car lengths back from the 1 of Derek Palowski. Johnson from the Johnson iRacing team, hailing from Bailey, Colorado, pushing hard to catch the 1 of Pulowski. Pulowski, one of the very best iRacing drivers working in the Legends Car Series today, finishing in the top 50 in each of the last 2 seasons, and running up front here. Pulowski down the back straightaway. Johnson has closed to within about 2 car lengths. Pulowski with a little bit of internet lag, the car disappearing. Johnson closing in on the 1 of Pulowski. It's Pulowski 1, Johnson 2. Aaron Johnson now a car length back. He's chased down Derek Pulowski. We're 9 laps into a 40-lap race. The question is, did Johnson use up his machine trying to catch Pulowski? Will he have enough to get by? Johnson lets Pulowski get back out in front now, drops to about 3 car lengths behind as they come out of turn number 4. There's some smoke here on the front straightaway. Not sure what that smoke is from. Out front, it's Derek Pulowski as we start lap 10 of 40 at Thompson Motorsports Park. Pulowski 1, Johnson 2. Johnson closes again to within about 2 car lengths. Aaron Johnson in that silver and red Puma machine working on the back bumper. Pulowski, a good race car driver, makes very few mistakes. Derek Pulowski holds a nice smooth line. Behind Johnson and Pulowski, the 2-car of Brantley Wise working hard to hold off the 4 of Lee Walker. From Lee Walker and Wise, it's a fair amount back to the 9 of Matthew Moniak. Matthew Moniak in that Born to Race car trying to fend off the 33 of Steve Mullins for 6th. Behind Mullins, the 6-car of Howard Bentley runs 7th. Bentley all by himself in the center of 3 and 4. No one anywhere near Howard Bentley. Behind Bentley, the 7 of Tiago Costa. Tiago working on the 13 of Dan Farley. Looks like Farley has just passed Costa to take the 8th spot. Tiago Costa in 9th, and the 10th spot rounded out by the 8-car of Mark Bartlett. Behind Bartlett is the 11 of Brad Allman. Allman in the Hooter Chevrolet got some damage on that left front. Looks like there might have been an incident early in this race. Behind Allman, the 12 of Corey Saucier. And then behind Saucier, the 14 of Ditto. The 12 of Kevin Fulton is out of the race. Fulton has exited the race. There are 13 cars left. Let's go back up front as Aaron Johnson works on the 1 of Derek Pulowski. Johnson pushing hard to put some pressure on Derek Pulowski. Thompson's a really hard track to make a pass. The fast groove is the high groove. The fast groove is a narrow groove. It's really difficult to carry a lot of speed through the turns, so passing someone generally means getting under them coming out of either turn 2 or 4 and then completing that pass going in to turn 1 or 3. Occasionally you'll see passes in the center of 1 and 2 or the center of 3 and 4, but when cars are very evenly matched, that's a really difficult proposition, as it is here. Out front, Derek Pulowski continues to lead, followed by the 00 of Johnson, then the 2 of Brantley Wise, the 4 of Walker, and the 9 of Matthew Moniak. Behind Moniak is the 5 of Mullins, then the 6th of Bentley, rounding out the top 7 with Dan Farley 8th, Costa 9th, Bartlett 10th, Allman 11th, and Saucier 12th. Brandon Ditto and Kevin Fulton now both have exited this race. There are 12 cars left on the lead lap, the last car being the 10 of Corey Saucier. Out front, it's still Derrickson Pulowski with the lead. He's got about a 3-car length advantage over Aaron Johnson. That advantage seems to have stabilized a bit as Johnson has either fallen back and is maybe trying to cool those tires, or he could have used that race car up trying to chase Pulowski down early. In either case, it's Derek Pulowski with the lead, followed by the 00 of Johnson. It's about a half a straightaway back to the 2 of Brantley Wise. It's Pulowski, Johnson, Wise, Walker. Those are your top 4. Behind Walker, the 9 of Matthew Moniak, then the 5 of Steve Mullins. And it looks like Mullins and Moniak running really closely here. There's some action on the track as the 33 of Mullins works to get by the 9 of Matthew Moniak. Mullins with a pretty good race car turns out of 3 into 4, now down the front straightaway. Not quite enough to get by Moniak, still working hard to get a position here and complete a pass. Out front, it continues to be Derek Pulowski with the lead, followed by the 00 of Johnson. Johnson, again, closing on Pulowski. Looks like he's stabilized or sort of developed this idea of work for a couple 3 laps to try to get under the 1 car, then let the tires cool and stabilize, then come back and make another run at the 1 of Pulowski. Johnson apparently slightly faster than Pulowski at this point in the race, just not fast enough to make a pass when they come around the corner this time. We will complete lap 20. This will mark the halfway point of the race. Aaron Johnson, a car length behind the 1 of Derek Pulowski. It's Pulowski, Johnson, Wise, Walker, Moniak. That's your top 5. Pulowski down the back straightaway. I just saw a lapped car come into the picture. That's either the 8 of Bartlett or the 11 of Brad Almond. I couldn't tell which. It looks like both Bartlett and Almond, as Pulowski and Johnson have caught the back of the field and are going to have to start working on this lap traffic. First up will be the 8 of Mark Bartlett. Hopefully what we'll see here is Bartlett giving some room to the leaders. Pulowski takes the low line. Bartlett stays up high. He moves up a bit into the groove. Johnson also gets beneath the 8 of Bartlett. It's Pulowski and Johnson going by the lapped 8 of Mark Bartlett, now setting their sights on the lapped car of Brad Almond. Lap traffic coming into play on lap number 22 of 40 at Thompson Motorsports Park. Derek Pulowski leads the way into turn number 3, now through the middle of 3 and 4, out of 4 onto the front straightaway. They close on that damaged 11 car, the Hooters machine of Brad Almond. Pulowski closing on Brad Almond's lapped car. Johnson trying to take advantage. He's about 4 car lengths back of the one of Derek Pulowski. It looked like Almond couldn't decide where to go. Finally picked the high line. Pulowski goes underneath. Johnson follows him through. It's the 1 in the 00 running 1-2 as we complete lap number 33 at Thompson Motorsport, or 23 at Thompson Motorsport Park. Derek Pulowski leads him out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Pulowski cranking on it hard as he goes down the back straightaway now into turn number 3. Pulowski and Johnson nose to tail. Johnson looks to the high side. No dice. The car just a little slower up there. Johnson loses ground, comes out of turn number 4, nearly gets the wall. 3 car lengths behind the one of Derricks and Pulowski. It's Aaron Johnson in second, Pulowski in first. Behind them, the 2 of Brantley Wise, then the 4 of Lee Walker, followed by the 5 of Steve Mullins, who finally has succeeded in getting past the 9 of Matthew Moniak. A little internet lag here. Johnson's internet lagging now as everyone else disappears. We see the lapped car, that's the 10 of Corey Saucier, coming into view in turn number, looks like turn number 2. Pulowski out of 2 down the back straightaway. He's extending the lead over Johnson. Pulowski now with a 4-car length advantage. 14 laps to go. Pulowski through turn 3, now through turn 4 onto the front straightaway. They're closing onto the lap 10 car of Corey Saucier. It's Pulowski, Johnson, Wise, Walker, and Mullins, your top 5. But it's Derek Pulowski and Aaron Johnson running away from the rest of the field. Pulowski and Johnson with nearly a 3-second advantage over the 3rd place car of Brantley Wise. Wise just ahead of the 4 of Lee Walker. Walker has lost some ground to the 2 of Wise as lap traffic has come into play. Wise in that Monster Energy car, though, nearly a straightaway behind the 1 of Pulowski and the 00 of Johnson. Back up front, it is Derek Pulowski with the lead, followed by the 00 of Aaron Johnson. Both cars closing on that lapped 10 car of Corey Saucier. Pulowski into turn 1 through the middle of 1 and 2, now onto the back straightaway. Pulowski in that black Molt Gear Legends car running up front, beginning to extend the lead now over Aaron Johnson. There are 11 to go. Johnson has fallen to half a second back. It's Aaron Johnson in second, Derek Pulowski in first. They're closing on the lapped car of Corey Saucier. But at this point in time, it looks like Aaron Johnson just does not have enough race car to deal with that flying 1 car of Derek Pulowski. Pulowski about 4 car lengths behind that lap 10 car of Saucier. Saucier with a little damage to the left front, must have been involved in an incident early. Saucier stays low, gives the high line, the fast line to Derek Pulowski. Pulowski goes around the outside, comes in now to turn number 1 through the middle of 1 and 2. It's going to be Derek Pulowski extending the lead a bit more over that 00 of Johnson. Pulowski now with almost a 0.7 of a second lead over the 00 of Aaron Johnson. It's Pulowski, Johnson, Wise, Walker, Mullins. Johnson fading with 9 to go. Not enough race car. Looks like Johnson's not going to be able to pull this one off. Derek Pulowski leads them through 1 and 2, now out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Pulowski with a 0.9 of a second lead over Johnson, followed by the 2 of Wise, the 4 of Walker, and the 5 of Steve Mullins. Behind Mullins, the 9 of Matthew Moniak, then the 6 of Bentley, and the 7 of Diego Costa, with the 13 of Dan Farley running in 9th. Dan Farley, the last car on the lead lap. Pulowski out of turn 2, down the back straightaway, extending the lead over Johnson. It's Pulowski, Johnson, Wise, Walker, Mullins. Those are your top 5, but it is all Derek Pulowski as there will be 6 to go this time by. Pulowski has extended the lead over Johnson to about a third of a straightaway at Thompson Motorsport Park. Pulowski comes out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. No one in front of him, no one behind him. If he can hold a smooth line, no mistakes, and no accidents, this race belongs to Derrickson Pulowski. There'll be 5 to go this time by. Just starting to see a lapped car come into the picture. That lapped car looks like it's going to be the 9 of Dan Farley. Can't say for sure, but it looks like it should be the 9 of Farley. Down the back straightaway, into turn number 3. Derek Pulowski continues to lead this race. Aaron Johnson second, Brantley Wise third, and they are closing on the 13 of Dan Farley. Johnson looks like he may have closed just a bit on the 1 of Derek Pulowski, but I think that's going to be too little too late. Aaron Johnson, with only 4 laps left, has about 7/10 of a second to make up, and making up more than 1/10 of a second a lap this late in the race at Thompson is going to be really hard to do. The 10 car, that's Corey Saucier. He spins in the middle of 3 and 4. Luckily, both the leaders miss out on that action. It's Derek Pulowski first, Aaron Johnson second. Johnson definitely closing now on the 1 of Pulowski. There are 3 laps to go. Johnson has closed to within about 7/10 of a second. Right here at the end of the race, Johnson appearing to be just a little bit quicker than the 1 of Pulowski. Pulowski driving up here now on the lap 13 car of Dan Farley. Pulowski trying to make easy work of the lap car. Johnson hoping the lap car will hold Pulowski up enough that he might be able to make a run at it. There are 2 to go. Pulowski looks high. The 13 of Dan Farley stays low. Derek Pulowski goes around the high side, comes out of turn number 4. He's going to take the white flag this time by. Aaron Johnson continuing to close, but he's just not going to have enough time. There are 1 to go here. Derek Pulowski trying to put the 8 car of Mark Bartlett yet another lap down. It's Pulowski followed by Johnson, then Brantley Wise, Walker, and Steve Mullins. Down the back straightaway, there's half a lap left. Derek Pulowski continues to lead. He rolls into turn number 3, nice and smooth, back onto the throttle. He's cranking on it hard, coming out of turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Derek Pulowski with a win. Aaron Johnson closes to within about 6/10 of a second at the end of this race, but it's just not enough, as Derek Pulowski is going to take the win. Aaron Johnson in the 00 will be second. The 2 of Brantley Wise is going to come home third, with Lee Walker in 4th and Steve Mullins 5th. Well, that's going to do it for racing from Thompson Motorsport Park. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.